Bonjour à tous et bienvenue pour cette seconde journée.
Well, hello and welcome to 6 tickets to Paris, the final European zonal qualifier for fencing for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. We're here in Differdange International School in Luxembourg, and today we're focused on men's sabre, followed by women's foil. An absolutely critical competition. It's a winner-takes-all affair. Very simple. The person who walks away with gold today books their ticket to the next Olympic Games. We're going to start with the men's sabre, and you can see the tail of the tape, the route through to these semi-finals. Ildirim from Turkey takes on Madrigal from Spain, and Hrecek from Poland takes on Day02 from Romania.
And for the first semi-final is from Spain, Madrigal Santiago.
The guard of honor consists of young fencers from Luxembourg for the presentation of the athletes, and it's Santiago Madrigal, world number 35, 20 years old, out first for Spain.
From Turkey, please welcome Ildirim Enver.
Ildirim from Turkey, world number 20, 28 years old.
From Romania, Day02 Julian.
World number 23, 29-year-old Julian Day02, who won the last zonal qualifier for the Tokyo Games in Madrid.
And the last semi-final fencer from Poland, Simon.
Hrecek from Poland, Simon Hrecek, world number 29, just 21 years old.
In Milan. And the referee are Quentin Pascal, Muller Tom, Directeur Roman, and James Aurélie.
Presentation of the all-important officials, and you can see Pascal Quentin there first on the left-hand side, flying over from Canada to be here as the independent non-zonal referee. So first up, it will be Enver Ildirim from Turkey against Santiago Madrigal from Spain. Ildirim based in France. Got a bronze medal at the Budapest World Cup, one of the qualifying competitions for the individual ranking, and Ildirim just finishing outside the 2 European spots, the third-placed European in the rankings. No real surprise that Turkey have selected him to fence here. Madrigal, bronze medal at the Padua World Cup earlier on this year. He's the athlete sitting in 4th, just outside those zonal ranking spots picked up by individuals. Sabre, a cutting weapon, target is everything above the waist, and the referee is there to decide who has what's called the right of way. Of course, our fencing audience know full well how it works, but we are absolutely delighted to welcome a television audience from Luxembourg. Straight away, Madrigal on the attack. It's super fast sabre, so no clock. When the first fencer reaches 8 points, we'll go to the break. The target, 15. It looked to me like a failed para-riposte from Ildirim for the first occasion. Now, the question is, does Ildirim land with his first attack? Did the foot land too early? It stands. And we've seen here in Luxembourg, the referees using the video just a little bit more than often, a little bit more than usual, I should say, due to the importance of the result of this event. Misses from Madrigal. The plunge fails for the Spaniard. The line was established from Madrigal, which technically gives him the right of way. The question is, did he keep it, or did Ildirim beat the blade? If he didn't, then the question is, did Madrigal keep his point on the target? The answer is with us already. Pascal Cantan awarding the hit to the Spaniard. Missed the parry. The athlete from Turkey, and they just ran away from the attacker. Super sharp off the line. Ildirim that time to re-establish the lead, but this is a tight one. So our first video appeal from Enver Ildirim. Each athlete has 2 video appeals. If it's upheld, they keep it, but if the hit stands and the referee doesn't change the decision, then they lose it. It was a good call from Enver Ildirim. These two have never met in the same international circuit. And at the moment, Ildirim has just taken the momentum in this fight. And immediately Madrigal calls for his first video review. Hit stands, so Madrigal loses one of his videos. Well, that time Madrigal stepped into the middle of the piece but showed no sign of attacking. There was no attacking attempt. So Ildirim, who did start a little bit more slowly, went to the target and leads at the break. Opportunity to take on some fluid and also to have a chat with the coach. As we can see here, Ildirim with the Turkey coach going through the routine. He seemed to have found the timing off the line, and it's the variety of that timing that is making things a little bit tricky for Madrigal down the other end. I fancy he'll come out for the second period and he'll be full of attacking intent straight off the line. Just like that, the minute is up and we are prepared for the second half of this men's semi-final. A must win if you want to book your place to the next Olympic Games. Starting off the second period, much as he ended the first. Right away with the Spaniard. The parry riposte failing from Ildirim. Hit acknowledged by the Turkey athlete. And you can see that attacking intent now off the line from Madrigal. He needs a few more of those. Try the distance trap. The Spaniard stepping in, luring the end of the attack, and then trying to step away from it. He got the first bit right, he drew the attack. Another change of line to the flank for Madrigal. Back within 3. Back left. Enver Yildirim stood there as though that was his, but Pascal Cantan was not fooled for 1 second. The Korean hop working to great effect for Santiago Madrigal. For Luxembourg television audience, the hopping you see in sabre these days was a creation of the Koreans. Came about after the Beijing Olympics. Something very new and very unusual in the sport of sabre, but now employed around the world. Caught in 2 minds, Madrigal on that hit. A card coming out for Yildirim for stopping the fight unnecessarily. He's saying he didn't hear Pascal Cantan's call. Challenges the penalty, but Cantan sticks with his decision. That goes into a closed line from Madrigal. Yildirim 2 away from the gold medal match. Well, the attack was starting early enough from Madrigal. It was a quick first step in, but he didn't stop moving even though he slowed down a bit. That's what gave him the right of way. And again, the second time we've seen that mistake, stepping into the middle from Madrigal with his arm back. If you're not thrusting that arm towards the target, you're never going to get given the right of way. Well, Yildirim getting away with stopping the fight with Madrigal in full flow. And he must have tripped over his legs or something. No card given by Cantan. And Madrigal not letting this one go easy. Yildirim just 1 away from making it through to the all-important gold medal match here in Luxembourg. There it is. Pascal Cantan will go and look at the video. The referees triple checking everything here, but very much felt like Yildirim's right of way. No massive appeal from Madrigal. Long look at the video, though, you have to say.
En finale, l'attaque touche point.
A really thorough confirmation of that final hit, but it goes to Enver Yildirim, and the athlete from Turkey who lives in France keeps his hopes of fencing at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games alive. He needs one more win to confirm his place there, but the first part of the job is done for Enver Yildirim from Turkey, winner of the first men's sabre semi-final. Well, moments of celebration for Yildirim. He's got time now to go away, settle himself down, and prepare for the gold medal match. And of course, the benefit of going in the first semi-final is you also have the opportunity to watch the second semi-final, because the winner of that one is who you're going to face for a place at the Olympic Games. So confirmation of the route through to the semi-finals. You can say at the top, Yildirim has moved through into that gold medal match. And next up, it will be against Union Teodosiou.
And from Podium, Simon.
Simon Krzyk from Poland. He's just 21 years old, number 3 seed coming into this. 29th in the world rankings. Didn't have to compete in the pool stages of this competition, where fencers fence a group of other fencers up to 5 hits. So a bye straight into the knockouts, where he beat Stoichev of Bulgaria 15-10. Teodosiou, the winner of the last zonal qualifier 3 years ago for Tokyo 2020, qualified for Tokyo, finishing 16th. The number 2 seed. He's 23rd in the world, 29 years old. You just slightly favour him for this one.
Right.
Simple first hit for Teodosiou, 2 phases of it. The first one failed, and then he just got going while Krzyk still stepping backwards. Krzyk off the line sharply. Teodosiou, did he challenge, or did the referee just go to the video of his own volition? I think it was the latter. There's enough suggestive body language, let's say, from Union Teodosiou to persuade the referee to go and have a quick look. And it was worthwhile. Para-riposte given. And another para-riposte for a 3-0 lead. A very nerve-settling start for Union Teodosiou. Krzyk off the mark. Got a couple of 32s in competitions that qualified for ranking points for Paris 2024. But Teodosiou got a quarter-final finish at the Algiers World Cup right at the beginning of qualification. And a 16 at the Tunis Grand Prix earlier this year. He also had a bye through the pool stages and beat Deary from Great Britain 15-12 in the quarterfinals to make it through to these semis. Yeah, stepping into the middle, Simon Krzyk stops, and that leaves the gate open for Teodosiou.
La première attaque de droite, stop, attaque, touche, point.
Confirmation after a video appeal from Fritschuk, so he's lost one of his 2 appeals.
Attaque de droite, touche, point. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Attaque longue, attaque, touche.
Beautiful, luring the attack to finish. Teodosiu steps away from it, and he's one away from the break.
Attaque direct, touche, point, merci. En garde. Prêt. Allez. Attaque composée, touche, point.
Well, video called by Teodosiu this time. I'm not entirely convinced he broke Simon Fritschuk's momentum and his timing, and neither is the referee.
Prêt. Allez. There was no blade. Attaque touche. En garde.
On już nie ma wideo.
Prêt. Allez. Allez. La réponse touche. Point. 1 minute.
Well, it finishes the first period tighter than we thought it might be. Fritschuk getting back into the match here. Just 1 behind at the break. He's got some variety in his attacks, but Union Teodosiu has shown a little bit more variety. Yes, we've seen a few para-ripostes, but he's thrown in a distance trap, and he's thrown in a couple of 2-phased attacks as well. So, as slight as the difference is between the 2, Teodosiu showing more of his toolkit in this fight. Roman Beruta from Austria, the man in control of the match, the referee, has been called to the video on a couple of occasions. But so far, no major protestations from either athlete in the tightest of all breaks. 8-7, the closest the score can be in a sabre match at the break. And you've got to say, Fritschuk still in this. He's had to fight back from going down 3-0 right at the beginning of the match. And he's got a pretty unorthodox attack, which we saw a couple of times. It did work for him. Just a stuttering approach to his opponent. I wonder if we're going to see a bit more. Second period of the second men's sabre semi-final. Blocked out by Teodosiu, who takes his time, shows his experience on the riposte to re-establish the lead. Again, stepping out of distance, the Romanian with the right of way, but brilliant from Fritschuk. Here comes the stuttering attack.
Allez. Préparation, attaque de gauche, touche à droite. Point. Merci.
So just calling out preparation for the pole, stepping into the middle, arm not moving forwards. I tried to sneak in with a counter-action there, Fritschuk, but the blade was picked up by Teodosiu nice and cleanly for a single light riposte. Oh, now that's an interesting hit. Fritschuk with the right of way didn't land his first attack. Teodosiu stepped away from it, made a miss, and then with the right of way, it was the Romanian who made the mistake and didn't land his hit. Continuation the attack for the pole.
Point. En garde.
Critical point now.
Allez. Attaque stop, attaque de gauche, touche. Point.
And we get a video call from Krichuk. He's only got one left. Referee called it as attack no from the pole. Loses the right of way. And
Attaque stop, attaque, touche. Point. Zero video. En
he
garde.
sticks with his decision.
Prêt.
And that could be the difference in this fight.
Point.
Another one where it's an error from Teodosiou. He avoided the first attack, had the right of way, and then just didn't hit his opponent.
En garde. Prêt. Allez.
This time, Baruta going to have a look at the video. Neither fencer asked, but it was not the cleanest of hits. That's Aurélie Genet as the video referee for this match. And it is a lengthy review.
On the line sur l'open. Premier attaque stop. Cherche les faits. Attaque de gauche, touche. Point.
So the first attack fails, and then the pole went looking for the blade, and that opened the door for Teodosiou. One away from making the men's sabre final.
Attaque, touche. Point.
But Krichuk with that trademark attack.
Prêt. Allez.
Does the first one miss from the pole? I think it may well have done. Teodosiou stepping away. He's made a mistake a couple of times when he's successfully evaded the attack, but on this occasion, if the first attack did not land for Krichuk, which it didn't, Julian Teodosiou takes the fight. An interesting matchup, 15-12 in the end, but it's Julian Teodosiou who's made it through to the final, where he'll face Enver Yildirim of Turkey for a place at the Paris Olympic Games. Well, high stakes event, but Teodosiou has the benefit of having done this at the European qualifier for the last Olympic Games, which was held in Madrid 3 years ago. He won that event, going on to make the top 16 at the Tokyo Olympics. Sights firmly set for the Romanian on Paris 2024. Confirmation then of the men's sabre semi-finals. Enver Yildirim of Turkey through to the gold medal match, where he will face the Romanian Julian Teodosiou, and the winner of that one will be going to the Olympics. Time to switch over to our second weapon here on the second day of this three-day tournament in Differdange in Luxembourg. Done a fabulous job here putting this whole show on, as we now switch to women's foil. A slight change of pace, you will notice, if you are new to fencing. And top of the pile through the first semi-final, it is Melina Caligarianu from Romania taking on Irim Karamati of Turkey. Will be followed shortly afterwards by Karolina Stutchbury of Great Britain up against Alina Polosiak of Ukraine. Now, a little subplot to all of this as the Guard of Honor come out. Melina Caligarianu is married to Julian Teodosiou, who we know is already into the men's sabre final. Will this be a good day for the Caligarianu-Teodosiou household? Here is the Romanian, world number 33, 27 years old.
And from Turkey, Irem Karameti.
Karamete is the world number 122. She's got some big support here. The 30-year-old Turkiya athlete, married to Andrea Baldini from Italy, former Italian Olympian. She's based in Turin. Karolina Stutchbury, just 18 years old, by far the youngest of the four semi-finalists here at this European qualifier for Paris 2024. She is world number 33 I should say. Just 18, goes up against Alina Polosiak, a 21-year-old world number 43, who was just a sniff away from qualifying through the individual ranking points. Didn't quite make it in the end.
Thank you. You can start the first semi-final.
So first semi-final sees Melina Caligarianu of Romania take on Irim Karamete from Turkey. In the head-to-heads between these two at senior international level, Caligarianu leads by 3 points to 1. There is Andrea Baldini coaching in the corner for Irim Karamete. Target area in foil as the torso. Of course, if you were watching yesterday and you're new to fencing, you would have heard that that's the part of the target you need to hit. And like sabre, the referee is there to decide who has the right of way. Basically, if you've got the attack, it's your turn to hit. As long as you don't make a mistake, you're going to get the point. If your opponent makes you miss, either by parrying or running away, parry is a block with the blade, it's their turn to attack.
Ouais, allez. Al, attaque non, contre-attaque droite, touche, point. Regarde.
Well, clear intent being shown by Caligarianu, but the first hit goes to Karamete.
Regarde. Ouais. Allez. Allez, la réponse de gauche. Voilà. Regarde.
Willem Madder from the Czech Republic, the referee for this match. One of the very best across all three weapons in the world, who see him officiating many, many finals.
Allez.
This sensing a little bit of tension here with Caligarianu. It's an interesting one, this particular matchup, because three athletes in the semi-finals were all in a big tussle for the second European spot through qualification by ranking. Those spots were taken by Anne Sauer of Germany and Flora Pastor from Hungary. But Stutchbury, Caligarianu and Polosiak, who are all in this semi-final, were in a a ding-dong battle with Flora Pastor, who in the end did enough to secure the spot through rankings. And that's why we see these three high-ranked athletes at the zonal qualifier for Europe. Countries are allowed to enter one athlete per weapon that they haven't already qualified in. So it is unique in the fact that none of your teammates are there. You're pretty much on your own in well, the highest of high stakes competitions. Just coming up to the halfway stage of the first period of potentially 3. Target score, of course, still 15, but there's a bit more time used in foil compared to saber. And you have to say, whilst Karamate might not really have been in that battle or qualification by ranking, she's playing a canny game today. She's contained Caligarianu in the early stages of this match, and she's just nicked the lead. When you look back at her day so far, it didn't start so well. In the pool stages, she lost 3 of her 5 fights. But then she beat Sheva from Armenia, and a very, very tight and slightly contentious match against Maria Marino from Spain in the quarterfinal. Went to 14-14. A decision in the end, given that to Karamate for the win, protested vociferously by the Spaniards. Beauty of an attack from Karamate. She's been patient. She's slowed Caligarianu down. And now she's landing some simple attacks, getting into close quarters, or close distance, I should say. She's neat. She's compact. She's tidy. You can bet that training in the build-up to this, based in northern Italy, was absolutely fantastic. And she's deploying a tactic specifically for this competition. Just get the feel at the moment that Caligarianu is being drawn into closer distance than she really needs to be at. She's the taller fencer. Karamate quite happy with this distance. She's landed a couple of attacks, not on this occasion, hit the arm, so off target. But she's landed a couple of attacks, and she's also deploying a bit of counter strategy as well. Great first period from İrem Karamate from Turkey. She has slowed Caligarianu down, and she's put herself in the driving seat in this match. Andrea Baldini in consultation with Karamate down the other end. The Romanian coach, I suspect, will be talking about just opening the distance up a little bit so that she can deploy her weapon. In this tighter distance that Karamate is setting at the moment, Caligarianu's point is almost beyond her opponent as soon as she makes a step forwards. Minute break is done in this first women's foil semi-final. Karamate from Turkey leading 6-4 against Caligarianu of Romania. And there's that counter. Working again for Karamate. That's more like it from Caligarianu. She's just taken her time, opened up the distance a tiny bit before she starts her attack. So Karamate thinks it's para riposte. Referee has called a fail of the first riposte from the athlete from Turkey. There is Union Teodosi looking on at his wife. He's done half of his job to make the men's sabre final. And his partner, Melina, in a spot of bother against Iram Karamate. Got a matter sticking with his decision, so a lost video for Karamate. See, the distance opened up has created better space, and it's more preferable for the taller athlete. Caligarianu just one behind now. And she doesn't want to get into these post-quarters scraps. Karamate is just too good in those positions. You don't want to see that. From the looks of things, that's something that Karamate has carried into this tournament. She seems to know what the issue is. And the doctor out to apply the magic spray, but sometimes it's just a masking agent and perhaps only lasts for a few minutes. Good to see her back up on her feet. Let's see how she's moving now.
Regarde. Ouais, allez. Regarde. La ligne suivante. Ouais, allez. Regarde. Ouais, allez. Les masques, s'il vous plaît, c'est toujours un tacle offert, doucement. Regarde. Ouais, allez.
We can see what difference a change in distance makes here. Caligoriano has now battled her way carefully back into the lead of this match. Karamate, of course, has had not a medical timeout, but certainly an injury break. Doesn't seem to want to push the attack as she did it earlier in the fight. I'm not the first as soon as I say that. That's exactly what she does. So all square after the second of 3 periods, and Caligoriano has wrestled her way back into the match, but we can see that Irim Karamate is struggling just a little bit. Coach Baldini perhaps going to work on that front leg. But a good tactical change from the Romanian to put herself back in contention, taking on more information from her coach. Just from the body movement from Baldini, looks to be saying, creep into that distance, get close, and then just keep your eyes open and wait for that moment to go. It looked like he was actually actioning for a broken time attack, which means that you throw your arm out to draw a parry, pull it back out of the way before your opponent takes the parry, and then land the end of the attack in the same line. Great tactical battle here. Karamate had the first period. Caligoriano had the second period. We go into the third with the scores all square. Clear tactics from both fencers. Caligoriano trying to set things up from a little bit further away. Karamate keen to keep the distance as close as it is now.
Allez.
We've gone over a minute without a valid hit. We have had at least one off target in this period, and Karamate scores the hit, but look, she is in trouble here on that front knee. And I wonder if right now we are going to see a medical timeout called. Now, the interesting thing here is that Karamate hasn't been... 3 of the 4 women's semi-finalists have really been in the mix in the race for qualification by ranking. They didn't quite make it, that's why they're here. We haven't seen Karamate so much, and that is because she experienced this knee injury earlier in the season, and she hasn't appeared at every single event. In fact, the last time we saw her was at the Tbilisi World Cup. There have been a couple of major events since then, and she's sort of dusted herself off, perhaps already knowing that she's going to get selected for Turkey for this qualifier, and just really focusing completely on this event from way back in January, when she stopped fencing on the full circuit. But it looks like the injury hasn't fully recovered. And even if Karamate was to get through this fight, you feel that it may be difficult for her in the final. Difficult times for Melina Kalagorianu. She has to sit out and wait this medical break. 5 minutes now in fencing, allowed for some remedial efforts to be applied. Kalagorianu has to try and stay focused. She clearly won't want to see her opponent injured. That's not what they're after, these fencers. It's not a case of qualify by any means, although I'm sure she'd take it. But she's got the key for her. She's got to stay focused. She's got to stay in the moment and prepared to get back out on the piste. And if the tactic now is to move her opponent up and down and exacerbate the injury, that's just part of the game, I'm afraid. And she's got to expose any weakness she can find. So, if you're just joining us, it's just under 2 minutes of an injury timeout left for Irim Karamate in the first women's foil semi-final here at 6 Tickets to Paris, the final qualifier for the next Olympic Games in women's foil fencing. Also got the men's sabre competition going on today, the second of 3 days of the event. Karamate back up. And I wonder if that knee is going to hold out. I've been told that she had fairly complicated surgery on that knee. Potentially is on the verge of full reconstruction. I'm not sure a few months is enough to recover from that, but the opportunity, the chance to qualify for an Olympic Games, it would be Karamate's second, having qualified for Tokyo, perhaps a little too much to resist. Well, the knee injury that she suffered earlier this season has taken her out of the regular route to qualification, and I think those tears are a concession of sorts. She's going to try and go on and fence, but she's clearly in a lot of pain, and well, any issue with either leg in fencing is, well, devastating. It's almost impossible. If you can't move in this sport, you are a sitting duck. And you can see she's managed to fashion a parry pass to Caligoriano. Needs to be careful here. She would have seen now that Karamate is not going to move that much anymore. She just doesn't have it in her. I just wonder if it's worth it, even though there is a chance to go to Paris. What is going to be the long-term effect of not letting a knee reconstruction recover properly for Irim Karamate? She's not sitting down on guard fully anymore. She doesn't want to put any pressure on that front knee. And you can't imagine what kind of pain she's going through. Attack going through, acknowledged. And this one looks to have been decided by an injury to the athlete from Turkey. Brave from Karamate, that is for sure. Karamate feeling that she picked up the blade there. Looks like she hit off target from the lights on the scoring apparatus. So it won't get a point, but it will stop Caligoriano from going to 13. Well, and you see an injured athlete is very difficult to call. The attack coming through. Caligoriano doing the right thing here, taking her time. She knows that if she goes too hard, too early, she could get caught up in Karamate, because she knows that Karamate would normally move away from the attack on some occasions with a bit more speed. At the moment, because of that knee injury to the Turkey athlete, she's unable to evade too quickly, so she needs to start her attack slowly, the Romanian. One away for Caligoriano. Karamate with 15 seconds left, but if anything, Caligoriano can just stay away from this one. Attack goes through, off target. Final action is parapost for Caligoriano. It was a brave way to battle on for Irim Karamate. A warm hug from Melina Caligoriano. But the Romanian, who's been in the hunt for Olympic qualification right from the start back in April last year, stays in the hunt here at 6 tickets to Paris. She's into the women's foil final in Luxembourg. Well, our job is to read the tactics of these fencers. It was very clear earlier on that Karamate was trying to keep the distance close, and Caligoriano in the second period opened it up. and reading everything is absolutely what we must do. But when there's an injury, well, it changed the entire face of the match. Very tough for Irim Karamate as she walks off stage right. Kalagorianu had to battle through that one, but in the end, the injury on her opponent made things just a little bit easier. Confirmation, the winner of the first women's foil semi-final, Melina Kalagorianu from Romania.
Representing Carolina Stutzberg. The national referee by Amer Khaled and André.
Straight into the second women's semi-final here in Differdage, the international school hosting this critical Olympic qualifier. And it's two of the athletes, two other athletes who've really been in the mix for qualification by ranking through the European zone. On the right-hand side, on number 33, Carolina Stuchbury from Great Britain, just 18 years old, going up against the 21-year-old from Ukraine, Alina Poloziuk, world number 43. They've never met. Given the fact they've been in this tussle throughout the entire qualification, it seems strange to say that these two have never met at senior level, but that is the case. Certainly not at a major. Well, Stuchbury recently won the Junior European Championships in Naples, in Italy. Was 20th at the Junior World Championship. She's picked up a round of 32 finish at the Turin Grand Prix. Start to her day was a little tricky. 3 victories from 5 in the first round. And then beat Kopelt Sova from Cyprus 15-1. And then Senik from Moldova 15-3. So a pretty easy run through to this semi-final. Poloziuk had a bye. She's the second seeded athlete in this tournament. World number 43. Didn't have defense in the pools, but then beat Nemkova of the Czech Republic 15-8. She has picked up a bronze medal at the Turin Grand Prix during qualification. At the moment, trails the plucky British teenager Carolina Stuchbury.
Small step, shoot, come on.
So the first attack failed. Now the question is, did Stuchbury land her counter in time? She did not. And Poloziuk electing to go for an attacking approach to this one against Stuchbury. Stuchbury trying to counter that by attacking herself. Attack off target, for those of you that don't speak French.
Prêt, allez.
Attack good for the Ukrainian, and she's drawn a level. She has decided that attack is the best form of defense against Stuchbury. Stuchbury, another of the athletes in this lineup here today, based outside the country she represents, and a nice patient attack there from Carolina Stuchbury. She lives in the United States of America, but has a British parentage, elected to fence for Great Britain, even though she is based in the United States of America. And not a bad place to do your fencing training, the USA now. Such a strong youth system there. Thousands and thousands of fencers who fence regularly in massive competitions. Can no longer say that USA is a team, or the fencing team is a team of youth. But they certainly do have a strong focus on fencing in the collegiate system over there. So Stuchbury bringing the benefits of all of that to the British team. We're both taking their time here and being patient. Such is the importance of this fight. Stuchbury trying on a couple of occasions to just pick her opponent off, but failing. There have been 3 athletes throughout the tournament, throughout qualification, I should say, that have been in the running, in the hunt for the Olympic spots. They went to Ansara of Germany and Flora Pastor from Hungary, but Melina Calagorianu, who came through the first semi-final, and these 2 here were very much in the mix. So all 3 of them would be thinking, right, I don't want either of the other 2 in my half. That's definitely going to be the tougher half of the draw. Short straw for Poliziuk and Stuchbury. Certainly the tougher semi-final, as Stuchbury does indeed pick her opponent off. We come to the end of the first period in a very tight battle here. Stuchbury leading, but only by a single point, and a pair of them employing not a risk-free, but a risk-averse strategy in the match. You got to think, what is Melina Calagorianu doing right now? She's already through. She's in the, in inverted commas, easier half of the draw, and her opponent got injured in the semi-finals, making that a little bit one-way, albeit in the final period. These 2 are in a tense battle, not just physically and tactically, but also emotionally to come through this one. Maybe it will give the winner the strength to go on and face Calagorianu in the final, but maybe it's too energy sapping. The vagaries of this very unique competition right in front of your very eyes here in the women's foil competition. For me, the first attack failed there for Stuchbury, but she landed the remise. Stutchbury looking to the assessor, questioning whether there's covering of the target. The back arm from Polosiuk does move around quite a bit. It mustn't come in front of the silvery jacket, the lame. Well, the riposte failing for the British fencer. Ramiz going through for Polosiuk. It's an interesting one as well because certainly as Andrei Kovrinyuk, another one of the non-zonal referees based in the United States, in the Republic of South Africa, taking charge of the surrendered weapon from Stutchbury. But it's an interesting one. Stutchbury certainly earlier in her junior career was almost exclusively a defensive fencer. She has brought a bit more of an attacking game in over the last couple of years, but defense is the A game for her. Now, it looks to me like Polosiuk has to get out on the attack, really. That's the only way that she's going to see her way through this one, because Stutchbury will just remain patient and wait for mistakes. But, perversely, that could play into the hands of Stutchbury's defensive game. Finely balanced, but Polosiuk has taken the lead. Card given for obscuring target with her head. Stutchbury now on the minor warning. Any other infringement from her will result in a point for the Ukrainian. Well, Stutchbury getting played at her own game there. Lovely little hit from Polosiuk. Shoelace management, the order of the day to slow things up for Karolina Stutchbury. Plenty of big names in the world of fencing watching on here at this critical competition. Winner takes all situation for the women's foilists and the men's sabreurs today. One place at Paris 2024 in each weapon. Stutchbury taking her time with that shoelace, breaking up the rhythm of the match. Still plenty of time, just a minute gone in this second period, with one more period to come if needed. But Polosiuk has scored a couple in a row. challenging moment for both of these fencers here. Polosiuk has got the lead. She will be risk averse again. She won't want to make any mistakes and offer opportunities to Stutchbury. But Stutchbury is going to have no choice as time starts to tick away but to go for the attack and go after her opponent. She's got time. She's got plenty of time to do it, so she can take her time with those attacks. But she needs to be very careful to not get hit. At the same time, Polosiuk needs to stay alert and sharp. So, passivity cards called there. Minute without a hit. And Andrei Kovryniuk from South Africa giving out the P yellow cards. They're a separate category of warning to the traditional penalty cards. And the idea of the passivity ruling is to ensure that fights have a decent enough hit rate, I think is the easiest way of putting it. Stutchbury got Polosiuk pinned on the back line, fails with the first attempt at an attack. Does she take the blade here? They both go for it, and it's given as parry riposte for Polosiuk. I feel that is the right decision in real time. Unsurprisingly, Stutchbury has called for a video review of that hit. Referee clear about that. He said, I can see you're both going for the blade, but the stronger action came from the Ukrainian. And the rules say the bigger beats the weaker one. 3-point margin for Polosiuk, and she's looking in command now. Still time for Stutchbury, but she's going to have to just increase the intensity a little bit here. So we get to the end of the second period, and the battle now is with Alina Polosiuk. Karolina Stutchbury here knows that she has to go after her opponent in the final 3 minutes. She's got plenty of time to get 3 hits back, but the critical thing is that she now can't really afford to give too many hits away. Polosiuk had to battle her way through that second period, but the whole idea of the game is to trick your opponents, outwit them, and you have to say Alina Polosiuk is doing that right now in the second period. She's taken control, and she leads by 10 points to 7. Stutchbury deep in thought there in the break. Polosiuk in the box seat. There's one of the 3. But she gets it back straight away, back within 2. And a parry riposte. This is a case of Polosiuk perhaps making an ill-judged decision to go on the attack and play into the defensive game of Stutchbury. Just 1 point in it. And you can only imagine what's going through the head of Stutchbury's coach here in Luxembourg, Dmitry Romankov, in the sidelines, chewing his fingernails down to the bone, I'd imagine. Parry riposte fails there, and Stutchbury is back on level terms, and all of a sudden, the momentum has shifted. Another parry riposte, this time off target from the British fencer.
Don't do that.
You can hear Romankov there saying, don't do that, don't jump out of the way on a counter-attack, it's too dangerous. And just like that, Stutchbury back in control at a critical juncture of the match, and there's still 1 minute and 36 seconds to go. Referee looking at the video here for, it's got to be an infringement, maybe covering of target he's looking for. So, video appeal it was called by Polosiuk. I think that was a little ill-judged. That's a huge hit. I think Polosiuk had the right of way there, but Stutchbury landed when the Ukrainian didn't. 2 away from the gold medal match, and still in the hunt for a ticket to Paris. Beats the blade this time. Stutchbury has turned this one around. She's gone on a massive run of hits here, 5 in a row. 6 in a row, in fact. Polosiuk having to go out on the attack now, and she's in that position where time is against her now. 2 meetings of the blade. Stutchbury closes it up to try and make it awkward to land a hit. She was making no attempt herself, just trying to defend. Oh, the broken time attack fails. Stutchbury looking to the assessor again for obstruction of target. I don't think there was any sign of the use of the backhand, but it may well have just diverted Stutchbury's blade out of the way. He kind of swings it around quite a bit, Polosiuk. And a card is coming out. So no hit will be given there, and Polosiuk on a yellow. As is Stutchbury. She got her card a little bit earlier on in the fight. If Polosiuk was to infringe again, fight over. And on the remise, Karolina Stutchbury has turned this one around. From 11-8 down, she has won the second semi-final at this European qualifier for Paris 2024 by 15 points to 11. That is some comeback and some turnaround in a fight, and we are set up for a massive women's foil final here. 2 of the contenders who are in the running for qualification by ranking find themselves here facing each other in a winner-takes-all gold medal match. Huge. It ain't over till it's over, as they say. Polozic had done such a great job in the second period to take control of the match, but the plucky 18-year-old Carolina Stutchbury is keeping British hopes alive of a women's foilist at the Olympic Games for the first time since London 2012. So confirmation then that Calagoriano of Romania is through at the top of the order in the women's foil competition and will face Carolina Stutchbury from Great Britain in the winner-takes-all women's foil final here at the 6 Tickets to Paris tournament, the last chance saloon for qualification to the European zone for Paris 2024.
We continue directly with the final of Sabre Mare. Please welcome the young Princer of Luxembourg.
Well, keeping you on your toes, we move straight on to the men's sabre gold medal match. Enver Yildirim from Turkey, the 28-year-old, takes on Julian Teodosiu, the 29-year-old Romanian, in a match to decide who the final European qualifier will be for Paris 2024 in the men's sabre division.
This match are refereed by Roman Pireuter and Pascal Quentin, with Aurélie Génie and Tom Muller. Referee can start the match.
So you can only imagine what's going through the minds of Enver Yildirim and Julian Teodosiu. Teodosiu, I remind you, won the qualifier this very tournament for Tokyo 2020. So he has experience of being in this position. I wonder how much that will pay off for him. These are the top 2 seeds. These are the 1 and 2 seeds coming into the tournament. Enver Yildirim was the leading European athlete coming into this. Julian Teodosiu behind him. They are 20, Yildirim here, 20th in the world, 23rd for Teodosiu. It's a fascinating thing about Olympic qualification in fencing. You first qualify by team, top 4 teams at the end of the qualifying period, qualify irrespective of zone, and then the top teams from each of the zones qualify. And then there's this rather complicated individual adjusted Olympic ranking to the top 2 from the European zone qualify for that. I should mention that that's Sandro Bazadze and Matthias Szabo from Germany and Georgia, who is going to join them in the individual tournament. Enver Yildirim off the mark in this gold medal match. This is some start from the athlete from Turkey. We've got a spurious white light coming up on the box. You might not be able to see it in picture, but you can clearly hear the beep from the box, as it's called in fencing. do get these technical breaks in fencing. White light on Ildirim's side. With all the technology in the sport, it is no real surprise that every now and again a gremlin creeps into the system. Here's a geeky fencing stat for you. Tokyo 2020, the fencing venue was the venue that had the most screens in it across all the sports at the Olympic and Paralympic Games. So next time that comes up in a pub quiz, you'll know the answer. Well, the technicians out working at Teodosio's end of the piste. And a switch of body wires. Very nifty little switch of body wires. They connect the new one to the end of the old one and pull it up through the jacket, because the body wire runs underneath not just the silver jacket that you see, but the fencers wear a multi-purpose jacket underneath that, a white jacket that serves as the major protection that's needed in case a weapon breaks and that you're hit with a broken weapon. The safety in fencing over the last few decades has increased dramatically. These composite jackets that they wear now are lightweight. In the days when I used to fence, we actually wore Kevlar, the stuff they used to make blades out of, sails out of, and it was very heavy, very hot. Now, much more lightweight. But a challenge from Teodosiou. I think he's already used one of his videos and burnt it. Can't confirm that because the referee goes off the video pretty quickly, and they're doing it a lot more of their own volition. It looks like Teodosiou has definitely called for the video on this occasion. Hit stands. I think Teodosiou may already be out of video appeals. Enver Ildirim picking up the blade as he approached his opponent. Two-phase attack, luring out the counter from Teodosiou and then riposting it. And finally, Teodosiou is off the mark. It's fierce, it's fast, and it's furious. It's Mons Saber at its very best. First attack from Ildirim misses, and right of way switches over to Teodosiou. Ildirim calls for his own video. I think he's got a little bit of a shout here as well. The question is, there was a double stamp of the front foot, and the referee may have interpreted that first planting of the foot as the end of the attack. Yeah, so it was given as an attack fails. So now Ildirim loses a video. Well, we go to the break, and it has been not quite one-way traffic, but not far off it. Enver Ildirim leading the charge and has quite a big lead, but don't be fooled by that. In Sabre, athletes can get on a run of hits, And perhaps the break has come at a better time for Julian Teodosiou here. Gets a chance to talk with his coach, who will not be in the bubble, not be consumed, sitting inside the mask, thinking, oh no, what is going on here? My chances of Paris are disappearing in front of me. The coach is there to say, hey, hold on a second. This is what you're doing wrong. This is how to change it. Get out there and let's go for it. This fight is not done. The thing is, at the moment, the dominance both in the middle of the piece and outside of the middle, the two key areas in Sabre, is being won by Enver Yildirim. He's winning in the middle, and if it goes out of the middle, he's taking both power cost and attacks. Now, they both step into the middle. Does Teodosiou stop? That is why the referee has gone to the video of his own volition this time. He started slower, the Romanian, but does he stop? Yeah, so there we go. Yildirim definitely stopped. His first attack was definitely no. Teodosiou picks up the right of way. Teodosiou picks up the blade. And this is how things can change so quickly. Yildirim calling for another video. I am not sure this is a good idea for the athlete from Turkey. There was a meeting of the blades. He's saying, well, I went for the blade as well. But the stronger beat, the more attacking intent was from the Romanian. And he's getting himself right back into this match. Hit stands. Roman Beretta consulting with the video referee for this fight, Pascal Cantan, Austria and Canada, in the lineup for the officials for this one. Just starting a little bit earlier. Turkey with the first hit on for this second period. Yeah. Steps in, slows down almost to a stop in Yildirim. No intent shown. Teodosiou, one slower step and then straight into the attack. Off the line again and in the middle. Teodosiou, he feels that the step away gave him the opportunity to nick the right away, but it just didn't feel like that. Certainly not for the referee. Back at the video again, looking at a replay of the hit in slow motion and at full speed. Referees tend to look at the action again in full speed, and it was a good call from Teodosiou on this occasion. Gets the turnaround for the hit. Did break Yildirim's time and is back within two. Long attack. Well, the referee's going to go and have a look at the video again here. It looked to me like Yildirim picked up the blade and landed the attack, but Teodosiou thought he'd done enough with a para riposte. Not the case. It was what we all thought, but good on Baruta, the referee, to go and have a quick look at the video. Such is the importance of this match. Well, that's an error of judgment from Teodosiou. His attack failed. He immediately stuck the line out, but the right of way was with Yildirim, and he did nothing to give it away. Tries to counter the sky hook or stop cuts the Turkey athlete, but the attack went through right of way this time with the Romanian. Came into the period 5 down. Now just 3 down, but Yildirim 4 away from booking his place at the Olympic Games. Again, another attack off the line. It's always going to be given to Enver Yildirim. I'm surprised that a man of such experience in Julian Teodosiou is making this mistake time and time again. Even if he feels the referee is not calling that particular hit correct, he's been consistent, and it's up to Teodosiou to change his fencing. There's got to be at least 4 of those now that have gone Yildirim's way. And for me, I agree with the referee. That is the attack from the Turkey athlete. Yildirim, multi-phase attack this time, showing what he's got in his toolbox. 2 away. What is going through his mind right now? Just needs 2 hits, and he's confirmed as a Paris Olympian. Goes looking for the blade this time. You saw that hand seesawing in and out. Yildirim Teodosiou, eyes open, saw the opportunity and landed his closing hit. He is not going to give this one up. Well, a little bit more complicated, that one, but the referee clear with his decision straight away. Roman Baruta calling the hit for Turkey. Yildirim just 1 away now. Back left. Easy one, and there's only 1 light on the box, but also an easy one to call in terms of the direction Yildirim was going in. And another attack. Well, now Yildirim thinks he's picked up the power across. The coach is on the piece. They are celebrating. They'll have to wait for the decision. Now, does that go into a closed line from Teodosiou? Does it go into a blockout from Yildirim? The referee is looking at the video. Yildirim still celebrating. He thinks that he's picked that one up, and it could be one of these big sweeping circular parries that does the job for Enver Yildirim. There it is, confirmation that it was indeed a big sweeping parry riposte that's seen Enver Yildirim of Turkey over the line, and he's booked his place at the Paris Olympic Games. That moment of joy sealed for Enver Yildirim, the 28-year-old based in France, will be going to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, winning a tense thriller against Julian Teodosiou. Heartbreak down the other end of the piste, but unbridled joy here for Enver Yildirim. Well, we get final confirmation that Enver Yildirim from Turkey has made it through to Paris 2024. He'll join Sandro Bazadze and Matthias Szabo, who qualified through the individual ranking system for Georgia and Germany. Turkey have another fencer in the mix at the Olympic Games. Those are the confirmed qualifiers through the European zone. Through the team competition, Korea, USA, Hungary and France qualified as the top 4 teams. Italy, Iran and Egypt and Canada qualifying for the zonal team places. The full list of ranking qualifiers in the individual competition: Bazadze from Georgia, Sabo from Germany, Fajani from Tunisia, Yoshida from Japan, Al Shamlan from Kuwait, and Tella from Argentina. And they now will be joined by Enver Ildirim from Turkey. Well, we turn our attention now to the last match on the second day of this 6 tickets to Paris tournament, the women's foil final between Melina Kalagorianu of Romania and Carolina Stuchby of Great Britain. And after 12 months of going through qualification, these are the two that just missed out on qualification by ranking in the European zone. So a fitting finale, and this will be an absolute stunner for sure.
On their opponents, from Great Britain, please welcome to Carolina Stuchby.
So world number 32, Melina Kalagorianu, will be on the left, fencing for Romania, up against the world number 33, Carolina Stuchby from Great Britain. 18 years old Stuchby up against the more experienced 27-year-old Kalagorianu, but I don't think age really is a factor in this one. This is a huge matchup between two athletes who have been in and around the mix for qualification for the 12-month period since it started in April last year. This is the match that all neutrals would have wanted to see in the final. Perhaps Polosiuk's in the mix as well, but Polosiuk went out to the comeback queen from Great Britain, Carolina Stuchby, in the semi-finals. By far a more exhausting, both mentally and physical, match in the semi-finals for the Brit, but she's got the advantage of having a challenging fight. Kalagorianu winning her match against Irim Karamete, who was hampered by a front knee injury. They're underway. Can't expect the fireworks that we just saw in the men's sabre final. These two will take their time, but it looks like Stuchby's already thinking she needs to get out into the lead.
Good, come on.
Regarde. Prête. Allez. Alt, attaque paré, et touche. Regarde.
Well, we've seen Stuchby go after a couple of attacks, not landing them, or not on valid target at least, and then scoring her first hit in defense mode.
Alt, Regarde. Regarde. Prête. Allez. Alt, contre-attaque. Nous voilà. Regarde. Allez. Alt, attaque. Nous voilà. Regarde.
We're already starting to feel a little bit nervous for Stuchby. She's pinned in to her back line here by Kalagorianu. And the coach is so keen for her not to use counterattacks as her go-to game plan. But when you're stuck on the back line, sometimes there is absolutely no option. She's got to work hard to push herself back into the middle of the piece, and that's exactly what she's doing right now. And able to land an attack just off target, but nice idea. Going to body, cutting over her opponent's attempted parry, just hitting on the shoulder, I think, on that occasion. Or the upper part of the arm, I should say. Trying that one again. So Stutchbury got the parry in, had the right of way, but didn't land her riposte. And Calogarianu gets off the mark with a continuation of her attack. We're going for that little portion of target. Very tricky to hit the front shoulder of the left-hander. It's a small area of target, but success this time for Stutchbury. She keeps going for it, though. She needs to hide that one. It needs to be a surprise. She needs to change her line. Otherwise, Calogarianu is going to work out. She's just going for shoulder all the time, and then it's easy for her to defend it. In fact, it's easy for her to show it, to tease Stutchbury to finish there, and then block out with a para riposte. Similar pattern of the fight that Calogarianu had in her semi-final match, feeling her way into it.
Come on, come on, come on.
Para riposte from Stutchbury. Perhaps we're seeing a little bit of unneeded rushing from Melina Calogarianu.
Nice, good job. Come on, go, go, go.
Dmitry Romankov, you heard there in the background here. There he is in the grey tracksuit. Here is coach for Carolina Stutchbury. A good first 3 minutes from her. A 4-1 lead. And Stutchbury looking to emulate Natalia Shepherd, who qualified through this zonal competition for London 2012, the last British women's foilist to make it to the Olympic Games. It's a different story down the other end, but we saw exactly this in the semi-final with Calogarianu. She found herself down against Iram Karamate, and the second period, she bossed. So Stutchbury needs to be wary of that. Calogarianu is down, but she's certainly not out. Second period of this vital match underway. Stutchbury of Great Britain on the right, taking on Calogarianu. The winner books a place at the Olympic Games.
Nice, good job. Caro, the same, come on.
Second hit for Calogarianu, the same as the first. She actually didn't have the right of way. It was a continuation of the attack. So 2 errors of execution from Stutchbury have led to the 2 hits for Calogarianu. But in the meantime, she scored 6 of her own. So I think she'd take those chances.
Prête? Allez. Halte à ta touche. Point. Regarde.
Stutchbury is putting herself in a very strong position here.
Allez.
Another couple from her unanswered. And she is in an incredibly good position. Misses the attack, perhaps just a little step, one step too far away starting that attack. And Caligarianu saw it coming, was able just to step in and counter.
Regarde. Prête? Allez.
Well, Stutchbury making it clear there. She felt there were 2 phases or 2 ends to that attack from Caligarianu. I think this is a good use of the video here from the British fencer. She was very clear about saying she felt there were 2 and that she picked up the moment after the first failed attack. Eugene Chua from Singapore on the video. Khalid, the Egyptian referee, in consultation. Point stands. So, a chance for Caligarianu to build on a couple of unanswered hits. And a moment for Stutchbury not to get too panicky about giving away 2. She's still got a very healthy 3-point lead here. Unsurprisingly, at this critical strategic moment, both fencers are not taking any risks. Who's going to be the first one to break? Ah, Stutchbury in control on the back line. You don't fear so much for her now when she's pinned back there in terms of the counter-attack, because she's seen that her second cease riposte and a flick riposte, a beat cart riposte landing on the shoulder nicely. Caligarianu pressing. It gets a beat attack, so she was waiting for that moment. She's clocked that as an opportunity. They've lost the mask clip in the process. There's no question about that hit going to Caligarianu. That mask clip just to make sure that the bottom part of the bib of the mask is connected to the rest of the valid target. And pinned to the back line. Stutchbury turns defense into attack. Caligarianu doesn't want to go into the break. 4 hits down. But she's just got a couple of seconds left in this second period, and Stutchbury has won both periods of this match so far. We'll have another minute's break before the final 3 minutes to decide which of these two will be going to the Olympic Games. Particularly impressed by Stutchbury staying in control, being able to unleash a couple of attacks at the beginning of this period and then go back to her A game of defense. But really now we're seeing the para riposte rather than the counter-actions from her. She's becoming a much more accomplished fencer in terms of what she has in her toolbox. Kalagorianu down the other end here. She has to dig deep and find her way back into this. Slow starting long attacks may be the way forward for her. She's got to lure Stutchbury. It's pinning her to the back line is not working. It hasn't worked so far for her overall. Critical 3 minutes in the careers of these two young athletes. Will it be Romania singing at the end of this one, or Great Britain?
Move.
Halt. En garde. En garde. Prêt.
Referee just calling halt to ask the coach for Stutchbury not to shout out during the fencing. Well, wasn't particularly orthodox from Kalagorianu, but it was effective, and perhaps a little glimpse of what she's thinking of here. Let the distance close up and then just dive in, even if it's on the counter-attack, and, well, hope for the best that Stutchbury doesn't hit. So pinned into the back line this time, and Stutchbury does go for the counter rather than the para riposte. That will give Kalagorianu some hope here. Referee's looking at the video here. They must feel that there's been some kind of infringement on the back line. We've seen Stutchbury being penalised for use of the back head to have struck the target. Not on this occasion, though. Picks up the blade, back to those para ripostes that we know Stutchbury's good at. The score did get moved on, but we've had a video appeal from Kalagorianu. Kalagorianu feeling that she was the one that picked up the right of way with a beat. The referee's initial feeling was that that was a nice block out in the 6th line. Good call from Melina Kalagorianu. She is back within 2 here. And this fight is far from over. 1:43 on the clock to go. Now we have a swing in the momentum. Just 1 point in it. Stutchbury's still leading, but she's got to change up her game now. She's got to go back into that more attacking approach that she used at the beginning of the second period. Looks like she has immediately switched to that as well. Perhaps 1 point too late, but better late than never. Caligoriano's spotted the line that she's finishing in, so closing out the Seeks line, the sword arm side, to protect her back, which is open to your opponent, whether you're left or right-handed. If you're up against an opposite hand, it is easier to see their backs. Well, it was a monumental comeback from Stutchbury in the semi-finals against Elena Poloziuk. This time, it looks like she's on the end of a comeback from Melina Caligorianu. And the scores all level with 40 seconds left to go. Who on earth is going to take this one? Stutchbury going for the tactical shoelace retie. She did this to good effect in the semi-finals, and she's doing it here, this time electing to go for the right foot. Just in case the referee thought that this was a tactic, she's changed the foot that she's tying up. A little bit of a break and a reset for her. Breaks up the rhythm of your opponent, all within the rules, of course. Finally poised, but the momentum with the Romanian at the moment. Took her 2 periods to take control of the semi-final against Karamate before Karamate sadly was injured, which really put an end to that fight. It's taken 3 periods, and most of them for Caligorianu to get herself into this match. But she's done so with a handful of seconds, over 30 left to go. Next hit. Oof, if either of them are brave enough to go for it, could decide who goes to the Olympic Games in Paris. Inside 15. Stutchbury looks like she's got one more attack left in her. Or is this all gamesmanship? They are going to back away, and we are going to decide the final European qualifier in women's foil through a sudden death minute. Right of way is decided by an electronic coin toss. And it looks like the priority has gone to Carolina Stutchbury. If no point is scored in the next minute, Stutchbury goes to Paris. If, however, one of them scores a valid touch, it'll be them that's going to Paris. Is Stutchbury brave enough to go out on the attack? It's not her A game. Caligorianu pressing, working off the blade, opening up the target, trying to find that moment and that distance to start an attack. "30 seconds gone of the minute." The stamping of the front foot, a distractor from Stutchbury. Caligorianu staying calm, waiting for the moment to land. Now the attack is blocked out by Caligoriano. She have found the blade for me. The referee will go and look at the video here to confirm this, but it looked to me, after being behind for such a long time, it's a nice octave beat to finish for Melina Caligoriano. And confirmation that the Romanian has booked her ticket to Paris 2024. What a comeback from her in that gold medal match. But the singing will happen on the streets of Bucharest tonight as Melina Caligoriano makes it to the Olympic Games. Well, what a day it's been for that household. You see Julian Teodosiu, who made it through to the men's sabre final, and he is partners with Melina Caligoriano, where Teodosiu couldn't convert, losing out to Eldirim. Melina Caligoriano has made it through. A bittersweet moment for Teodosiu. But Romania have booked a ticket to the women's foil here in Luxembourg. Heartbreak for Karolina Stuchbury. She won the first and second periods, but in the end, the experience of Caligoriano saw her over the line in a sudden death minute. The all-important photo. And now all that remains is for the European Fencing Confederation to hand out the certificates to the winners. Melina Caligoriano winning the women's foil, and Enver Ildirim from Turkey winning the men's sabre. They'll get certificates from the European Confederation in this special zonal qualifier, and then this beautifully named 6 tickets to Paris tournament also presents the tickets, in inverted commas, to the Paris Olympic Games. Thrilling sporting moments here in Luxembourg. Proud hosts of this Olympic qualifier, the last chance saloon for the European fencers. We've had 2 brilliant days of action. One more to come, of course, tomorrow. We will have women's sabre and men's épée tomorrow. The women's foil and men's sabre has been concluded here in fine style. Well, we are going to stick around here for the certificates, the award of the certificates, but an important moment, of course, for the athletes. We've got some of the great and the good from Luxembourg for the presentations. We're calling it a medal ceremony, but it's actually a certificate and ticket ceremony this time at this special event. The Minister of Sports, George Michaud, is here. The tickets for Paris will be awarded by the Minister of Education. We are in the international school here in Differdange. Claude Mich, the Minister of Education, likely to come out with the tickets. And we've got Raymond Conzemius, the Director of Sport at this international school, also in the award ceremony team. They've had a very decent crowd here in Differdange for this event. And it's always a tricky moment at the end of a competition at the end of the action on piste to sort of wrangle all the fencers. Because of course they need to be wearing all their official team tracksuits with all the sponsors' logos and all that kind of stuff, and that they need to. That's an important part of their job, of course, especially given the fact that the winners here will be going to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. All those supporters of the athletes will want their moment in the spotlight. So the men's sabre certificate ceremony coming up shortly. Just to remind you that after the ranking qualifiers concluded just a couple of weeks back, Korea, USA, Hungary and France topped the team rankings and all qualify as top 4 qualifiers. The zonal places going to the Italian team, Iranian team, Egyptian team and Canadian team. And then the top 2 Asian and European fencers from the adjusted Olympic rankings. I won't bore you with the detail of those, how those are calculated, but the top 2 for Europe, Sandro Bazadze and Matthias Jabo. For the 2 spots for Asia going to Yoshida and Al Shamlan, so Japan and Kuwait represented in Paris. African zonal spot going to Faris Fajani from Tunisia. Pascal Ditella from Argentina picking up the Pan-American spot. And they will all be joined by Enver Ildirim from Turkey in Paris. And not long now before we'll see the EFC, European Fencing Confederation certificates given to the winners of both competitions. And it looks like it's Giorgio Scarso, the man in charge of the European Fencing Confederation, former Italian president, who has the certificates in hand. But this is one of the toughest events in world sport, you have to say. The winner takes all final chance qualifier.
Of Luxembourg. And we start with the Saberman. Please welcome
the Guard of Honor out and ready to welcome Enver Ildirim to collect his certificate, tickets and gift for qualifying for Paris 2024.
Please welcome from Turkey, from Romania, from Turkey, sorry, Ildirim Enver.
Got it right in the end. World number 20, Enver Ildirim from Turkey at 28 years old, high-fiving all of the gold winner. Absolutely delighted with his performance here. We saw him beat Madrigal and then Teodosiu, Spain and Romania to make it through to Paris 2024. A big, big moment as Giorgio Scarso, president of the European Fencing Confederation from Italy, presents Enver Ildirim with his EFC certificate of qualification for the Games.
And the ticket to Paris 2024 by the Minister of Education of Luxembourg, Mr.
The ticket to Paris, hence the name, 6 tickets to Paris, being presented by the Minister of Education, Claude Mich.
And a bottle of Luxembourgish wine by Mr. Gérard Zerz, President of Luxembourg Fencing Federation.
So the President of Luxembourg Fencing handing out the gift of a bottle of Luxembourg wine. Can't say I've ever tried that. I wonder if Enver Ildirim will have a little tipple this evening. He certainly deserves it. The all-important photos for posterity. The coach getting in there for good measure, and quite right too. So Enver Ildirim has booked his place at the Paris Olympic Games taking place at the end of July. His partner joining him on the podium. That'll be a treasured moment for those two. A keepsake, I'm sure, will be sent to them by Team Bitsy, who are here taking the photographs, the official photographs for the International Fencing Federation. So we've had the one certificate ceremony coming up right now. It's the women's foil certificate ceremony. It's been 12 months of high emotions for a number of athletes, including three of the four, well, in fact, all four of the women's semi-finalists. Keramete didn't really contend for the ranking positions because of a terrible injury to her front knee, which required reconstructive surgery. The other three in the mix in the final four, Karolina Stuchbury, Alina Poloziuk, and the eventual winner, Melina Kalagorianu, all in the running throughout the entire Olympic qualification process. Only one could succeed here in Differdange.
Please welcome to Melina Kalagorianu from Romania.
And here she is, Romania's world number 32, Melina Kalagorianu, at 27 years old, has qualified for her first Olympic Games. She will be on the piste in the Grand Palais at the Paris 2024 Games.
Secretary General of the European Fencing Confederation.
Jacek Ślupski there, the Secretary General of the European Fencing Confederation, giving out the certificate.
By the Minister of Education of Luxembourg, Mr. Claude Maisch.
Claude Maisch again with the ticket. The Minister for Education giving out the ticket to Kalagorianu.
And a gift, a bottle of Luxembourgish wine by the President of the Local Organization Committee, Pascal Tesch. Pascal
Tesch, the leader of the LOC, the Local Organising Committee, giving out the bottle of Luxembourg wine to a delighted Kalagorianu. She had to fight back in both the semi-finals and the final, but she's made it through to Paris, and here is her moment in the spotlight. Well, the photos for posterity, confirmation then that Melina Kalagorianu has joined Enver Ildirim here on day 2 by qualifying for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. One more day to go here in Differdange, and you will have the pleasure of Graham Bell's company for the conclusion of the European qualification in men's épée and women's sabre. But for tonight, thanks for joining us, and congratulations once more to Enver Ildirim of Turkey and Melina Kalagorianu of Romania.